So so only the bhakti impressions can change the conditioned nature. Bhakti impressions, when we perform devotional service under the direction of Guru, and we have conditioned nature, Swabhava, living entity, generated by activities, karma over the billions, infinite lifetimes. All those conditioned nature can be transformed by bhakti impressions. Like when we are performing devotional service, our conditioned nature is getting faded and the new impressions of bhakti are being formed. The real nature is developing and the conditioned nature is fading away. "35. Translation.
O Vidura, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work and potency of the gigantic form manifested by the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Okay, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work, and potency of the gigantic form? This Virat Rupa, which is manifested by the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yoga Maya Balodaya. Okay. Further, test 36. Let's recite this verse. This is an important verse. तथापि कीर्तयाम्यङ्ग यथामति यथा श्रुतं कीर्तिं हरेः स्वं सत्कर्तुं गिरम् अन्या विदासतीम्.
In spite of my inability, whatever I have been able to hear from the spiritual master and whatever I could assimilate, I am now describing in glorification of the Lord by pure speech, for otherwise my power of speaking would remain unchaste.
Okay, so he is saying, Tathapi, first of all, last time he said that who can estimate or measure the Lord Vishwarupa form, the potency of this form? That means Lord external energy, the Yoga Maya manifests through Yoga Maya, but the expansion of Yoga Maya itself is Mahamaya. So this Vishwarupa is manifested by the Lord's external energy, which is the expansion of Yoga Maya. Right? But the Lord is entering within it. So it's a combination of His energies. External energies also giving the different form. External energies manifesting is mentioned already. The Lord external energies manifesting in different elements, so on and so forth. And they combine with the energy of the Lord. So the combination of the material energy and his own spiritual energy manifests this Vishwarupa. But it can be said Yoga Maya because even the external energy emanates from the Lord only. For him it's all spiritual as Prabhupada says. So therefore it's all inconceivable. Even the power or the manifestation of Virat Rupa is inconceivable, he is saying. How the time acts, how the material energy acts, how the Vishwarupa is formed, all vast. But still, although this is, who can estimate and measure? But still, I am describing, Tathapi Kirtiyamyanga, I am describing the activity of the Lord, Yathamati Yatha whatever I have heard and whatever I have assimilated. Whatever I could assimilate, whatever I heard. Kirtim Hare Sam Satkartum, I am describing for my own good. That is, my mind is absorbed in the Lord. Otherwise, my power of speech will be unchaste. If I do not glorify the Lord, do not describe the activity, then I will talk something mundane. Because speech has to talk something. As a senses cannot be just lying like that. Therefore, whatever, although everything is so vast and inconceivable, still I am making an attempt to describe this for my own good, so that my power of speech will not be unchaste. It will be engaged in the Lord's service. So they are very beautiful. So therefore, whatever we can understand, let's glorify the Lord. for our own good. If anyone else benefit, that is a bonus. Okay? Yeah. Prabhupada writes in the fifth line of the second paragraph. See the fifth line of the second paragraph. It is also not possible to repeat all that one has heard from a spiritual master, but one can narrate as far as possible by one's honest endeavor. It does not matter whether the Lord's glories are fully explained or not. One must attempt to engage one's bodily, mental and verbal activities in transcendental glorification of the Lord. Otherwise, such activities will remain unchaste and impure. Okay, fine. This is important verse. 37.
The highest protections again of humanity is to engage in these discussions of the activities and the glories of the fire sector. Such activities are so nicely arranged in the writing by the greatly learned sages that the actual purpose of the year is served just by the being near them.
Okay, in this way, Maitreya Rishi is saying, Ekanta Labham, highest perfection is to engage in discussions of the activities and glories of the pious sector. Shloka Mole. Sudesha Vidbadrupakradayam. So, these glories are very beautifully described, very beautifully arranged. It's like become like the ornament for the ears, right? And so on. So this way, this verse also describes the glories of hearing the activities of the Lord. The perfection of the ear is to hear. That is text 37. For the decoration of the ear, or the perfection of the ear,
Yes.
is to hear the glory of the Lord. Okay, 38.
O my son, the original poet Brahma, after mature meditation for 1000 celestial years, could know only the glories of the Supreme Soul are inconceivable.
Okay, so Lord Brahma, after mature meditation for 1000 celestial years, only know the glories of the Supreme Lord are inconceivable. So, after he studied, deliberated with his four heads for 1000 years, he understood that I cannot understand the Lord. Right? We are only spending 3 months. So whatever we can understand, but see, the more we try to understand, put effort, and then we say we do not understand, that our appreciation is increasing. That's more we try to understand and then say that I do not understand, the more our appreciation has increased for the Lord. Because most people do not know what they don't know. At least now Brahmaji knows what he doesn't know. Most people don't even know what they don't know. That Lord is, there is so many things about the Lord. And most people don't know what they don't know. But Brahmaji knows what he doesn't know. So therefore, that is a, Brahmaji has come to the point of knowledge. He knows now what he doesn't know. And this Lord is so inconceivable, his potential is so infinite.
That means that none of us can really know the Supreme Lord because his leelas are infinite, right?
Yeah, but whatever extent the Lord reveals
Oh,
is the process. To some extent the Lord reveals, and then from the Shastras we go, oh, there is so much more to know, so much more to know, that means I don't know anything. Like that. So the more the appreciation, the more we try to serve the Lord, understand how things are functioning, the more we try to understand His glories, and the more we come to understand, the more we will know that the Lord I do not understand. There is a lot more. So like that. So after 1,000 years, Brahma concluded, I really do not understand the Lord. Rupa says that if you see this 8th last line of the purport of 38th, if the Lord can at all be known to some extent, it is only through the means of devotional service and no other way. That means we render devotional service and the Lord may reveal. That's it. (39)
The wonderful potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is bewildering even to the jugglers. That potential power is unknown even to the self-sufficient Lord, so it is certainly unknown to others.
Okay, so the potential power is unknown even to the self-sufficient Lord. That means Lord's energies are so vast. Even the Lord is mentioned that He doesn't know the length and breadth of His own potency. Why that is so? Because it's described that the Lord also doesn't know the length and breadth of His own potency, because it is infinite. Like you say, the Lord, even the Lord cannot reach the end of His glories. There's another way to put it. Lord cannot reach the end of His glories. What does that mean? That end doesn't exist. That end doesn't exist. How can you measure the length and breadth of something infinite? So the word is mentioned, even the Lord doesn't know the length and breadth of His glory, because it's simply infinite. So like that. The way to describe. Lord cannot reach the end of His glory because that end doesn't exist only. How will the Lord reach the end of His glories? Text 40.
Words, mind, and ego, with their respective controlling deities as demigods, have failed to achieve success in knowing the Supreme Design of God. Therefore, we simply have to offer our respectful obeisances unto Him as a matter of sanity.
Okay, so therefore, we try to understand as much as we can understand, but then whatever we can't understand, let's offer the respectful obeisance to the Lord. Right? Understand the Lord is infinite, He is great. Like that. And again Prabhupada says, last 4-5 lines, one has to follow in the footsteps of great sages and devotees like Maitreya and Vidura, Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami, and engage in transcendental devotional service of the Lord. If one would know His ultimate, transcendental service of the Lord, if one would know His ultimate feature, which is above Brahman and Paramatma. Okay, so therefore, the description ultimately concludes with the rendering devotional service to the Lord. To whatever extent our intelligence allows, we may understand, remaining, glorify the Lord, offer Him obeisances, worship Him, make one's life perfect.
Mm.
Bhagavatam comes to that conclusion. Don't worry if you can't conceive of many things. But try your best and increase your appreciation for the Lord. With that appreciation, glorify Him. Yes.
Basically, there's the part where it says words, mind, and ego with their respective controlling demigods have failed to achieve success in knowing the supreme personality of God. But the thing is don't demigods have to achieve that position? So technically, how would have they not been able to achieve not knowing Him if they didn't attain that position?
First kalpa.
Sorry? I didn't exactly get.
So basically, it says the words, mind, and ego, with their respective controlling demigods, have failed to achieve success in knowing the supreme personality of Godhead. But the point is, if these demigods had to achieve this position,
Position means success in knowing the Lord.
then they would have had to work towards that position to become a demigod in the first place, and then they would have understood this.
No one can fully understand the Lord.
I was saying that not in completion, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
What would you say when Prabhupada he said that Vedas are the words, mind are the words are Vedas, mind are Brahma, and ego are Rudra. Because he says the controlling deities of speech, mind, and ego, respectively, are
Which
Vedas,
verse?
Brahma, and Rudra.
40.
40 years. Sorry.
First line.
Controlling deities of speech, mind and ego.
Namely, the Vedas, Brahman, and Rudra. I can understand
Vedas,
words
Brahma, Rudra, all the demigods had to be Brahaspati.
because Brahma mind doesn't seem too much for me.
Vedas
Brahma
are
is
controlling deities, Vedas.
Mystery.
what have we studied with the controlling deity of speech? Agni,
Speech is Agni.
right? Speech is Agni.
Mind is generally Chandra, as you say.
Hmm.
It's Brahma.
Brahma is Mahatattva.
Hare Krishna.
Well, I don't know how Prabhupada has correlated this.
Okay. Me too.
And he has put all the demigods head by Brahaspati also. Like he includes Vedas, Brahma, Rudra, and all the demigods head by Brahaspati. Yeah, so how is correlation formed? Can't say for here. Yeah. Yes.
Even 39 Bhagavad,
Yeah.
from last 6 line.
Mm.
Can you explain that analogy of small banyan fruit?
Contain thousands of small seeds. Each seed holds the potential of another tree, which again holds the potential of millions of such fruits as cause and effect.
Next line.
So the trees and seeds engage. So the trees and seeds engage the devotees in meditation about the activity of the Lord, with the mundane wranglers waste time in dry speculation and mental auction,
Trees and seed engage the devotees. What is that mean?
which are fruitless in both this life and the next. In spite of their pride in speculation, they can never appreciate the simple potential activities of the banyan tree. The speculator is a poor soul, destined to remain in metal perpetually. I would say that
Shuman, what was your question?
39.
39th. Prabhupada has given some analogy of banyan trees and seeds. Banyan trees and seeds.
A small seed can be big.
And what is your question?
Banyan and seeds engage the devotees. What does that mean?
Basically means that he's giving because it's not an eternal fruit, it's a method by which at least they're being engaged in some way, shape or form. Because he said which are fruitless in both this life and the next. So he's saying that at least they're being engaged in some way, whereas the mundane philosophers or people that are in speculations, they
So
don't have-
what does in relation to devotional service, what does seed mean and what does that means? Tree means. From one tree there are seeds, but each seed has a potential for many trees.
It's written, the devotees of the Lord see the wonderful dexterity in everything. And then he quoted the small banyan tree.
Yeah. See the wonderful dexterity in everything in which they come in contact in all circumstances of eating, sleeping, working, etc.
So the trees and seeds engage the devotees in meditation because this is devotee of the Lord, banyan tree.
Oh, the see wonderful dexterity in everything
Yeah.
which they come in contact with. The contact
Just incredible.
of all circumstances. So what is the tree, what is the seed?
in the banyan tree, the picture that we have, there's like, you could say the seed is the devotion, and the tree is the different stages of the seed, the tree itself, the root of the tree, and the tree could be the different levels of the devotion, just like the banyan is.
What is your point? What is your question?
What does that analogy refers to?
It's written,
It's in, I did not understand.
the devotees of the Lord see the wonderful dexterity in everything.
Yeah, it is just analogy is not. It is said they see that how they see the wonderful creation of the Lord, how the Lord has packed with this creation. Within that there is a seed, banyan tree, and that banyan tree can give rise to many more banyan trees. This is how wonderful is the creation of the Lord.
That is clear that so the seeds and trees engage in devotional service.
So the trees and the seed engage the devotees
In meditation, it's written.
in meditation. The devotee meditates seeing the trees and the seed. How wonderful is the creation of the Lord, that is the meditation.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
About the
That's it.
activity of the heart.
She's not referring to the actual banyan tree.
Yeah, the actual tree, the tree has a fruit which has so many seeds. The seeds can give rise to so many trees. So how wonderful is the creation of the Lord? That's it.
No, but you know the actual banyan tree, the example of the liberation.
No, here is just a tree and seed
Not
only.
that.
Here is just a tree and seed, and the devotee meditate on the dexterity of the Lord, the wonder of His creation. That's it. Yes.
The 14 sense devatas, amongst them are the trees.
Or the
Trees.
devatas
The
of
trees
the
are the hair, the itching sensation, the skin.
skin.
Yes.
Yeah, then the skin, the deity, the organ mentioned is skin.
Yes.
Gross skin is charm and the finer skin is twacha. Okay.
You see my question?
What? Yeah, the skin.
Because there is the skin, the hair, and the sense devatas of the itching sensation are the trees.
The trees? No, in that purport Prabhupada mentions numbers 17.
What is it?
17, not 17. 18. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the concluding duty of touch is the air passing within the body, and the concluding duty of the hairs is Oshadva.
Oshadhya.
Oshadhya. The hairs.
Tree is
on-
personified. Oshadhya is the name of tree personified.
Okay.
Oshadhya.
Oshadhya. Why not?
So why these partial things are mentioned?
Where
Yeah, like all the purpose 16, 17, 18. With partial touch, partial semen, partial. Yeah, 3 times is mentioned. Partial orders of evacuation. But everywhere else it's total, only here it's partial. 2020, 1920 partial.
It means through God. It's a real. Other than partial.
it's mentioned in 15th.
16 also partial touch. And then 1920.
Any idea what is the partial representation here?
Which verse?
15, 16, 19, 20. Other all partial is mentioned.
And 20.
Yeah, I don't know. Partial word, we have to think about it. There's something about the partial.
So, what is this Mahatattva entering? I can understand the senses, but again it said in 26 that the Mahatattva enters. Therefore, when consciousness separately manifested itself, so consciousness is also an element here. Or no? 26th.
The consciousness of Virat Rupa manifested.
Separately.
Separately, it's everything is all the organs are separating, na? In Virat Rupa. His mouth is manifesting separately, his consciousness is manifesting. When the Mahatattva entered, is his conscious part.
What does this mean?
Just like the. So here the Devata is not mentioned in it. Anybody with Devata? Total energy, Mahatattva is entering.
The actual Mahatattva was always there.
Yeah, Mahatattva exists, I already said, na? Mahatattva already exists.
So the same things were there and the same things divided into universe and the same representation was there.
Yeah, it divided, it's had further transformation, but that is also existing.
Okay, and that entered again.
Part of that looks like.
And with its conscious part, that is, which is the conscious part of Mahatattva?